Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome everyone to our Saturday Night Live with Hisham Al-Mikawi. Glad to be back after 2 weeks. We took off, or I took off because I was traveling, and it's great to be back. Today we will try to cover a couple of the 15 invaluable laws of growth, so to catch up and to try to finish them probably in the next 3 or 4 lives, inshallah. Thank you so much for your support. As I always say every week, I thank you for sharing the event and sharing the lives and sharing the post for the event and the invite. Really great. All your support is greatly appreciated. Our video last week was almost, not last week, the last video we did, with the last live we did, the views was around 184,000, which is it's probably the highest so far we have had. So this is all because of you, and this is for sharing the video and sharing the event, and hopefully the benefits are more and more to more people, and welcome new people that for the first time today they're logging in. Thanks everybody. I see a lot of highs, and everybody glad, and thank you for logging in. So today we will talk about the law number 6, which is the law of environment. And this one is, for me, is a big one. You know, there are 15 laws of growth, all are great, but there are a few of them what I feel they are vital to the growth or the individual growth for individuals. The environment is the support system, okay? And I'm gonna give you an example to try to pave the way for today's topic or this law. Let's say you try to go on diet. You wanna lose some weight. And the goal is to lose weight. If you try very hard and you come back home and the support system in your home or in your house is not supporting your goal. So, you know, you come home and you find all the food that you like, and all the spaghetti, lasagna, you know, all of that nice stuff. So while you're trying so hard to lose weight, the support system around you is not helping you, okay? And it's very important for a person when he or she is trying to grow and change the status quo of what she or he is doing, and they have their own growth goals. And the support system around them, or the environment, is not pushing, okay? So the support system has to push. The support system has to help. The support system has to pave the way for you to grow. Now, that support system could be the family, okay? It could be your peers. It could be your boss. It could be the organization in general. It could be your coach, you know, for your sports that you're playing. It could be many things and many people. They need to pave the way and support you forward, okay? When you don't have that, what happens is it looks like you are fighting or swimming against the current. So you're swimming so hard, but the current and waves are against you, so you're really not going anywhere. Okay, so it's almost going on an escalator going up, but you're trying to go down, or you're trying to go on escalator going down and you're going up. So you keep almost on the same on the same spot. So this is what we call by the environment, or the law of environment. How the support system is supposed to help you grow. We have seen many examples in the past where people tried so hard and they could not grow. And people try okay and they grew. Why? Because the system helped. It's almost like it gives you that extra push from the back so you can actually grow. So the change, what this law is basically talking about, or John Maxwell is talking about in this law, that if you're trying to change, and if you're trying to do a change, your choices are extremely vital for your growth journey. We all know and we all hear about people talking, Robin Williams, many of the John Maxwell himself, okay, Robin Sharma. Everybody's saying if you want to be rich, you should surround yourself with rich people. If you want to be knowledgeable about a topic, surround yourself with knowledgeable people. Okay, you cannot be you don't want to be or you don't want to have a goal to be rich, and then you are stuck with people around you that they have no goals, and poor people. You're not going to get richer. Okay, if you want to be a genius in a topic, surround yourself with people they are geniuses in that specific topic. So the reason why we tell our kids to choose their friends wisely, because the influence of the kids around, or the friends around your child, is as important as how good your child is at home or how you raise him well. It's not really, because these are the choices we make. The choices we make for our kids because they don't know. So we need to guide them and tell them, be careful, okay? Don't be around kids that they are bad to their parents. You know why? Because eventually your kid will be bad to you, because he will listen and he will see and he will observe. So the environment is toxic. The environment is not helping. The environment is bad. So how do you know if you're making the right choices for your environment and for your surroundings? Okay. Now, we talked in the last lives and episodes and all of that about how you manage up and how you manage down. But how you manage the organization. We talked about how you manage your boss. We talked about how you manage your team. But how you manage an organization that is not helping for growth. When you are in an organization that is not built on a foundation to prosper and to help people grow, then you will end up in two ways. You will end up stuck in your position for a long time, or you will end up outside the organization by force, because the organization will kick you out in a way. So how you manage that? You manage that by what we call the self-development, okay? And this is probably a sign that you cannot stay in this organization any longer. You need to really work on yourself to get better, to get out of that organization. Because if the organization is not helping, if your boss is not helping, if your peers are pushing you down instead of pulling you up, if your team is not helping you go up, then you are probably in the wrong organization. So ask yourself a few questions. So you know if you're making the right choice or you're making the wrong choice. At the end of this live today, I'm going to give you, or at the end of talking about this law, because I would like to cover another one after this, which is extremely important as well, is I'm going to give you a quiz, 10 questions to ask yourself. And we'll see if you actually have the right environment and the right surrounding or not. So stay tuned to that, because I'm going to give you that at the end. But ask yourself today some questions, okay? What ideas move me? What kind of ideas that move you, okay? And write this down. You know, I always tell you to have a pen and paper or pencil and paper, write this down. What kind of ideas that move you, okay? What experiences give me energy? Are you energized by challenges, or you are energized by other people pushing you, or you are energized by doing nothing? Okay? Friends, who encourages me? Do you have the friends that actually encourage you, or you have friends that actually feel that you are dangerous to them, or they're competing with you, or they're trying to pull you to things that does not interest you? What dreams inspire you? What spiritual exercises strengthen me or strengthen you? Okay? What memories make me smile? Why I'm asking these questions? I'm asking these questions because this will define, first of all, who you are. What choices are you making? Because all of these are choices. What have I read that changes me? Did you read anything that changed you in the last month, 2 months, 3 months? So somebody will ask me now, what does that have to do with the environment? Okay. The reason why you ask these questions to yourself, to understand what environment around me that makes me feel good, that makes me want to grow more, that makes me achieve my goals. Support system, okay? I hear from people, they ask me and they call me and said, I need to ask you a question. And I said, go ahead. They said, I've been in this company for, 4 years, 5 years, and I've been in the same position. And my boss seems like he's not helping me. What I do? I answered this. I answered this 2 lives ago. And I said, how you manage your boss, how the boss that is willing to help, and the boss that has the knowledge but he doesn't want to help, or unless you ask him, and all of that. But if you are stuck with, let's say the organization is great, but your boss is the problem, try to have another boss. Try to ask to go to another department. Ask to be transferred. But if the organization is good. But if the boss is the product of the organization, and the organization is just like that, then you probably need to push yourself out of the organization altogether. So what John is saying if you change yourself but not your environment, growth will be slow and difficult. If you change yourself but not your environment, growth will be slow and difficult. Okay, number 2, change your environment. If you change your environment but not yourself, growth will be slow and less difficult. What does this mean? We understood the first one. What does the second one mean? Second one, that the organization trying to push you, but you as a person doesn't want that. And I have seen it. In my time, with different teams, different people. Look, everybody knows, how I like to develop my team, how I like to help my team, how I like to grow my team. This is just in me. This is part of who I am. But I have seen many people that actually responded to that, and I have seen many people that they don't want that. They absolutely didn't want that. And they stayed in their position. They don't want to move because they don't want the hassle of growth. They don't want the pain of growth. And by the way, the next law that we're going to talk about after this one is the law of pain. You remember? No gain, no pain, no gain. But some people just like that. The organization trying to help them, or their bosses, or their peers, they're trying to help them, but they don't want to get help. They just their nature. They don't want to be in pain. They are in the comfort zone. Okay? So, if you change your environment but not yourself, growth will be slow and less difficult. There's still going to be growth, and it's still going to be less difficult because the organization is pushing, but it's going to be very slow. When you change your environment and yourself, growth will be faster and more successful. So you're changing yourself and you're changing your environment as well. Understand that most people are not interested in actually growing. Wow, what a statement. Most people actually are not interested in actually growing. Yes, I have seen that. I have seen that. There are people who are self-driven. There are people, they come to your office every day asking, Mr. Hisham, what do you want me to do? Can you give me more assignments? Can you give me more projects? How can I help? You have a lot of people. And you have people, they never come to you whatsoever. I have seen those, and I have seen the other part that they don't want anything to do with growth, extra assignments, because if you want to grow, you're going to stretch yourself. And we're going to talk about one law we're going to talk about in the 15 laws is the law of rubber band. You know the rubber band? This is the law of rubber band. We're going to talk about that. How you stretch yourself to grow. Okay? Because growth is not to stay still and you stand still and you're actually going to get taller. You need to stretch yourself. As you consider your environment, ask these critical questions. Who flourishes me? Who makes me satisfied? Okay? What keeps me alive? What keeps you alive? Your work, your family, your kids, your money. What keeps you alive? Okay. If we assume that we all have the same thing, we have 3 meals a day, we have a job, and we have a family. What keeps us alive? Is it the family? Is it the job? The food? Or just totally something else? You wake up every morning that you want to be better than yesterday. And you wake up with the goal of the day and the goal of tomorrow and the goal of next week and the goal of next year and so on and so forth. And what sustains me? What keeps me? So we understand what's alive, but what sustains me? Who I am. The person that I am every day, with the smile on my face and the personality that I am, and what sustains me. If you don't know these are deep questions. You really need to ask yourself about them. Okay? Change the people you spend time with. Change the people you spend time with. If you want to grow, surround yourself with hungry for growth people. If you remember, 12 things to do in 12 months to turn business around. What is my first principle that I put for that module? 12 things to do in 12 months to turn your business around. Number 1, surround yourself with hungry for growth people. When I took over the region in the States, and the region was almost in a breakdown situation, as I told you the story before, almost 11 years, this region never made money. It was non-profitable. And it was in a very, very tough situation. and took me about 2 months to meet people and understand people, and asking people in the restaurants, what is the last time you saw your area manager? I got questions about 6 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago. So how do you communicate? Oh, by phone calls. We call him when we need him. Right there, right then, I found out that the entire problem in this organization was people that in their comfort zone. And the tenure of these people, they've been in the company for 20 years, 15 years, some of them was 24 years, and they actually took the position for granted. They don't have any hopes anymore, they don't have growth, ambitious anymore, nothing. And the first question, which I call these guys, what I call them, everybody's saying, what I call these guys? Absolutely correct, draggers. I call those draggers. I made the decision to surround myself with hungry for growth people. And I help people from the restaurants coming up. I took some great restaurant managers. They were in a program called Area Coach Designate, which is Yum does these programs for restaurant managers to get to the next level, which is area managers, but they take them into a program first called Area Manager Designate program. And I took 6 of them, and I supported them for 6 months. And I got rid of all the draggers. And what happened? This region, because of these people, they were so hungry to grow. They were working 48 hours and 24 hours a day. They were putting their heart and soul because they could not believe that they got the opportunity to grow. And they put every single effort to make them better leaders, better managers. This region in the first year was turned around, and it broke even second year, made money in 12 years that region never made money. And it was a large region. We're talking about the big part of the East Coast of the United States, about 4 states I'm talking about. The restaurants, I used to take a ride from my farthest restaurant in the south to the farthest restaurant in the north, 3 hours by car. I have to go 3 hours travel between the restaurant on top and the restaurant in the bottom. But because I got these people, they were so hungry for growth. I surrounded myself with people that they have the same ambition and they have the same goals to grow. So change the people you spend time with. Challenge yourself in your new environment. Okay? Even if your boss is not giving you challenges, even the organization is not giving you challenges, challenge yourself. Find something impossible to achieve and try to give it to your team. And try to talk to your team about it. Can we do this? If you get to a 90% of it, 85% of it, you know what? You stretch yourself beyond your comfort zone and you got to where you want to be. Make your goals public. Well, how you make your goals public? Make it known for every single person. Okay? In Americana, what have we done? If anybody remembers, that little board that used to be in every single restaurant, and we write on it the goals for the day and the goals of the week and the goals of the month. And if I go inside the restaurant, I ask the cook, and the cook is really aware of what is the goal of the day and what is the goal of the week and what is the sales of the week and all of that stuff. You need to make your goals public. Set a deadline for your goals. You cannot just say, I'm going to have a goal with no deadline. I want to achieve this by this time. Otherwise, you will continue to work on one goal for 2 years. And you think that you're trying to stretch yourself. When learning from others, such as a mentor, explore these questions with this person. Okay? I am honored and humbled to be called many times from many people. asking about, what should we do in these situations? And I feel honored to be asked these questions. It's very important. When you have a mentor and you have somebody that you look up to and somebody that calls you and asks you questions, you need to explore these questions with this person. You need to ask him, what is your strength? You ask your mentor, what is your strength? So because you need to learn from him. You need to learn why this person is your mentor. What is your strength? What are you learning now? Obviously, if you look up to somebody and you see them that they're trying to help you, they're constantly learning. So ask them, what are you learning now? What are you reading recently? Is anything interesting that I can learn these days? What are the topics that you're reading about these days? What do I need right now? When you ask your mentor and you say, what do I need right now? Knowing me, what do I need right now? This is why coaching. When I'm just amazed by what I see on social media and on TV and all of that stuff. I look at these programs and I see the host of the program and TV is hosting a person that's probably 27, 28 years old. And the title is a life coach. Or the title is expert in personal development. And I think, what did this person learn about life in 27 years? He or she just graduated from college 3 years ago. Life coach is not about the degree you got from school. If you're going to help somebody, you need to have that gray hair and experience in you for somebody to give you or to try to help you. Because life is not about what we learn in books only. Life is about the amount of experiences and the mistakes we have done. So you can tell people not to make these mistakes. So a person 26 or 27 or 28 years old and calling themselves life coaches, and they have hundreds of thousands of followers on social media. I'm just amazed. I'm sure they are good people. But if I want to go to somebody for an advice, if I want to go for somebody to become my mentor, I want to see in him or her something that I don't have. Okay? So if you are 40 and you go to somebody ages 28 to tell you what to do, there's something fundamentally wrong. Okay? Because you probably have more experience than this person, and you can help other people who can help yourself. So it's really, what do I need right now? Your mentor is supposed to tell you that. Okay? Who have they met? What have they read? Or what have they done that has helped them? You ask your mentor that. Okay? Who helped you? Why are you asking these questions? To create the environment and to do the right choices for yourself. You see? So I tell people, experience, it doesn't have to be from scratch up. You don't have to build your experience from scratch up. You build your experience by doing some mistakes, but learning from other people's mistakes. Okay? It's not, you don't have to do all the mistakes in the world to learn. You can ask questions to other people that they have made these mistakes. And they can tell you, be careful here, be careful there, don't do this. You better do this way. This is the importance of having a mentor. Okay? And what I find that people, they want free advice all the time. Free advice. Because they don't want to have that commitment. They don't want to pay money for advice. But they pay money for video games. But they don't want to pay money for advice. When somebody sent me on my website and I said, Hisham, we want coaching. I said, okay, the minimum coaching I do is 8 sessions. 8. No less than 8. For 2 months. Because I know coaching is not about 1 hour we can talk. And I can give you advice. That's not coaching. That's called consulting. Coaching is different. Coaching is you have to change yourself. You have to come up with the changes and the solutions. And this is why it takes time. 8 hours minimum. And the minute I tell people that, they don't want to pay the price. They want advice for free. When I tell people 8 sessions, they don't want to listen. Why? Because they think it's a quick fix. Nothing is a quick fix. If you want to change as a person, it's never a quick fix. You have to go through the pain to get the gain. Focus on the moment and move forward despite criticism. How many times, raise your hand, everybody's hearing me right now. How many times you got criticism from people? I see too many hands. Too many hands. I'm not seeing anything, but I'm assuming that too many hands. How many times people criticized you about something that you have done? There's one rule you really need to know. There are few people that naturally they will push you up. Only few people. Naturally, they will push you up. And there's a lot of people, they don't care. And few people will push you down. There's too many people around you, they don't care if you grow or you don't grow. Only few will actually try to push you up, naturally. But you're going to find people that try to push you down. Why? Why? Why are you going to find people trying to push you down? Because if you are taller than others, what people can do to reach you? 2 things. Either they step on something to be as tall as you, which we call growing. They finding solution, right, to grow. Or they're trying to make you shorter. It's a natural human behavior. People either, when they see you taller, they're trying to reach up to you. And these are the people they try to grow. When they have a role model, and they have a mentor, and they have somebody to look up to, they're trying to be so much as that person, so they push themselves so hard to be as tall as that person. The other people, they can't. So what they do, they're trying to make you shorter. How they make you shorter? By criticizing everything that you do. Why did you do this way? If you do it even the way they told you to do it, and you did it exactly the way they told you to do it, they're going to come back and criticize you again. I didn't tell you to do it this way. You're wrong. Because this is how to satisfy the inner self of them of being incapable. So they feel good when you shrink. They don't feel good when you grow. So be careful with the environment. Be careful with the people around you. Because there's only, again, very few that they try to push you up. The rest, majority, they don't care. And some, they're trying to put you down by criticizing you. So move forward despite the criticism. Okay. So let's summarize. You need to choose your surrounding. You need to choose the people that you spend time with. You need to know your choices. You need to ask your mentor or the person that you trust, what are the good things about you and what are the things that probably you need help with, okay? Ask many questions to that mentor so you don't make the mistakes that they have done. And move forward regardless of the criticism. That's for everybody. Now, if you are a leader, you are in a leadership position today, and you have a team that you supervise or you lead. Now you have more responsibilities. What are the responsibilities? Your responsibility as a leader to create the culture. If you are just a person in the organization, then you have no control of creating the culture. But if you are the leader in the organization or a leader in the organization, how you create the culture in that small community of yours or big community as an organization, how you create that? How, as a leader, to set the examples of others and you create that nice environment for people to grow. The growth or the culture of growth, where each person is individually challenged. You need to give individual challenges to people. There are people who will be ahead of others. Obviously, this is life. This is how God created all of us. If Allah wanted us to be all rich, we are all going to be rich. There won't be any rich and poor. But there is a reason why there is rich and poor. Okay? There is why there is a leader and a follower. And every leader needs followers. But every great leader have other leaders and followers. Let me say that again. Every leader needs followers. But every great leader creates leaders and have followers. That's the difference. But this is the responsibility of a leader. The atmosphere is affirming. The atmosphere is you cannot confuse it. You cannot mistake it. It is clear to every person inside that organization or any person that comes out of that culture. Creating a place designed to keep people out of their comfort zone. Challenge all the time. Helping everyone stay excited. Okay? As a leader, you need to keep people excited during hard time, during the worst time. How you can be a filter between the pressure and how much you pass into your team. Leaders take a lot of pressure, but they don't pass all the pressure to their team. You have to keep the smile on your face. You have to keep the challenges going in the worst time. Right now, in Corona time, in COVID-19 time, in pandemic time, all companies, all organizations are struggling. Every single person that I talk to, they struggle. Businesses are struggling. People are not getting paid their salaries on time. People getting their paid cut. People losing their jobs. But as a leader in the organization, you need to keep your head up. You need to keep the organization healthy. You keep a smile on your face. You need to motivate your people every single day. You cannot walk around, your shoulders down, your head is down, and you expect people that they will perform and they will do great. It's not going to happen. This is the environment that leaders create. Leaders create environment that is healthy for growth, that is healthy to work in, that is transparent, that is challenging, that is exciting. These are good leaders. These are people that they really challenge themselves every single time. They don't lower their head. They don't lower their shoulders. They stand straight. They face the reality. So create that environment. Create environment for people to be excited to come to work every day. Don't put down the organization. Don't put down your team. Don't talk bad about the organization. Because at the end of the day, if you have another choice, just go to the choice that you have. Leave that organization and go somewhere else. People that bad-mouthing or saying bad things about their organizations, they should not be in the organization. People need to really, the leaders, I'm talking about leaders' responsibilities. We all lead organizations. And right now is a tough time for everybody. It's a tough time. It is, in my 25 years, I haven't seen a year like 2020. Even in 2008 and 2009, during the recession, it was much better than today. Not that many people lost their jobs. Not that many people were challenged with their income. Not that many people, they lost the job security. But I salute every leader that wakes up in the morning and try to make things better, that try to survive, that try to encourage their teams, that try to focus on the business, on people needs. That's very important. So, to summarize, I'm going to give you 10 things, and I'm going to give you 2 seconds after each statement. Please have a pencil and a paper and just write yes or no. Yes or no. That's all you need to say. Yes or no. Assess your current environment when it comes to growth, answering true or false to these 10 statements. So I'm going to tell you 10 statements. Okay? Get ready. I'm going to tell you 10 statements, and all you have to say is true or false. But just write it down, because the number of true and the number of false is very important. I'll give you 2 seconds to get ready. Okay. True or false? Others are ahead of me. Others are ahead of me. Two, I'm continually challenged. I'm always challenged. True or false? 3, my focus is always forward. My focus is always forward. 4, the atmosphere is affirming. The atmosphere or the environment around me is affirming. 5, I am often out of my comfort zone. Often or usually out of my comfort zone. 6, I wake up excited. I wake up excited. 7, failure is not my enemy. Failure is not my enemy. Number 8, others are growing. Others are growing. Number 9, people desire change. People desire change. Number 10, last one, growth is modeled and expected. Growth is modeled and expected in the environment or in the organization. So you should have total of 10, either true or false, or a mix of true and false. Okay, if you answered false to 5 or more of these, if you answered 5 false or more, your environment may be lowering your growth. So if you have more or 5 false, your environment is pushing you down, is lowering your growth. If you have less than 5 false, or more true than false, then your environment probably is helping. Okay? Because this is important. Now, if you are one of the ones that got 5 or more false, now your environment is not helping. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about that if your environment is not helping? Auni is saying people's behavior is one of the biggest challenges. He just said a comment right now. Auni said people's behavior is one of the biggest challenges. I have news for you, Auni. That will never change. People's behavior will never change. You're gonna get the good, you're gonna get the bad, and you're gonna get the ugly. You're gonna get the great behavior, you're gonna get the worst behavior, and you're gonna get the people in the middle that they do not care about anything. That will remain a challenge. It's a challenge from the time God created life. People's behavior. The 2 sons of Adam, what did they have? What did they have? The 2 first sons of Adam. Did they get along? No. Their behaviors were, or one of them behavior was challenged to the other one, that ended up one is killing another person. So behavior, this is why Allah created us all different. This is the beauty of life, where you have people that they are different than you. So you can learn from them, or you disagree with them. Disagreement is not a problem. Disagreement with foolishness, that's a problem. Disagreement with violence, that's a problem. But we can all disagree all day long. That's fine. That is a human behavior. So challenge gonna stay there. The main challenge, I disagree with you, Auni. The main challenge is not human behavior or people's behavior. The main challenge is I see the behavior and I do nothing about it. How can I change the people's around me behavior? It's not going to change, but how can you adapt and try to understand them better and create that healthy environment? You're going to have people that trying to push you up, and you're going to have people they do not care, and you're going to have people trying to push you down. How you react to all of them. So, but if your environment, the entire organization is not healthy for growth, if your entire organization is trying to push you down, it's time for you to get out. I tell people this all the time. If you have go where you grow, yes? Everybody know this about me? Go where you grow. If you have growth opportunity, that is okay. If you have growth opportunity within, that's fantastic. Because this is the environment growing. This is you grow inside the environment, okay? But if there is no growth within, then you need probably, as I always say, to have growth without. Any person can change if he has a willing to change. A desire is important to continue forward and accept any challenge. Well said, Tamer Assar. I think if I'm pronouncing the last name right, Tamer Assar. Well said, Tamer. I couldn't say it any better. Any person can change if he has a willing to change. A desire is important to continue forward and accept any challenge. I think you have said it all. I could have said it any better. It's a fantastic thing. We all can change. Us. But you cannot force anybody to change. This is the key. You can show them how the change will benefit them on the long run. How the change has done to you as a person. So they can actually see this as an example. But you cannot force people to change. You can offer to help. You can offer to, as a leader, I'm going to say it again and again and again, leaders have huge responsibilities to keep the environment healthy, to keep the environment growth-oriented environment, or the growth a platform for people to grow. And they can make it a miserable environment for growth. These are people. These are leaders. If you are doing the first thing, you are a great leader. During tough time, remember, we are challenged and we are tested not during good time. We are challenged and tested during tough time. Great leaders show up during crisis. They do not show up when everything is great and fantastic. So, I think I'm coming close to my time. I wanted to cover another law today, but I think this law is very important. There is a gentleman, Saj is saying, we can change the people by taking their hearts. When you touch people's heart, it's a great advice. When you touch people's heart, they change, yes. Again, that's not forcible. You're not forcing them to change. You touching their hearts emotionally to get them on your team, and therefore they can change. But what we see, when somebody is trying to force people to change, if you try to force your kids to change by not explaining the whys, if you want somebody to change, you need to tell him or to answer the whys to them. Our issues as leaders, sometimes we do not say the why. We do not answer why we need to change or why you need to do it this way. Okay? We tell people, mop the floor. We tell our, your cook, your newest guy on the job today, you tell him when you close the restaurant or you close the shop, mop the floor. And you tell him how, and you don't tell him why, you think he's going to do a good job? He's not going to do a good job because you assume that every single person knows how to mop the floor. No, 99.9% of people, they do not know how to mop the floor correctly. And when you explain the why, then they will understand. You know, when you tell him this is for safety, this is for cleanliness, this is for, you know, the morning shift when they come to the restaurant is clean, this is for this is for that. When you explain the why, they will do it right and they will change the behavior. So, please, the law of environment. Next week, inshallah, we will talk about the law of pain. The law of pain. No pain, no gain. I thank you for your time today. It's always a pleasure to have you. The hour goes very quickly. And please share this video forward and share the invite forward. Invite as many people to this event as possible so we can extend the benefit and extend the knowledge to everyone. Thank you to everyone that came today from many continents and from many countries. We almost have all continents except Australia. I don't know if there's anybody from Australia, but I know there are a lot of people everywhere. So thank you very much. God bless you. Inshallah, I will see you next week. Now, got a great idea thanks to my wife, which she said, after this video, why don't you do one in Arabic and post it on the Arabic page for people that they want the summary of what we talked about today in Arabic. So what I will be doing right after this today is I'm gonna summarize what we have said probably today, or maybe I'll start from law number 1 and try to summarize that, and I will be posting these on Hisham Al-Makkawi, the page in Arabic, the Arabic page. And so everybody, if the English is a challenge for some people, then they can actually benefit, and we get a greater audience to log into our lives. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week, inshallah. God bless you.